everyone. It's Sasha here, and today I want to talk about books. Specifically, I want to talk about my books that I have put on Goodreads. So, as of today, which is August 16th, uh, I am looking at my 2025 reading challenge. So, my book goal for this year is 181 books. I am currently at 128 books. That's 70% of the challenge done. And then if you look down and you see my want to read, it's sitting at a lovely 11K. To be honest, that number has gone down dramatically because one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to bring that number down, like bring down my want to read list. So actually reading books that have been on my want to read list for a minute, and I've brought that number down so far. It's kind of crazy to see it sitting that low. And then my currently reading is sitting at 204. So I have started and stopped 204 books. I believe this covers, like, there's some books from last year that I just didn't read either, and probably even some books from 2023. I recently finished a book that I had started back in 2021 and I just finished it. So this is not just this year, like this is years that there's been 204 books that I've just started and stopped. Now my read is sitting at 775 books. Very excited about that number. So we're going to open that and just talk about a few of the books that I have read recently. At the top of the list, so the way that mine is set up, as you can see, it's sorted by date finished. So as long as I put the actual dates on there, the last book that I have finished should be at the tippy top. So Stacey's Remarkable Books by Stacey Abrams, the politician. And I believe the illustrator is Kit Thomas. I think that's who that person is. And so this was such a beautiful book. I gave it 5 stars. It's a cute little kid's book I would not say this is a bedtime story. Like, I'm sorry. This is for when you do go to the library and, you just pick out a book and you decide to read it. This could be your kid's favorite book. But I can definitely say that, like, if I was trying to get my kid to go to sleep, this would not be one of the ones that I would pick up. But it would be one that I would pick up if we were doing, like, just a trip to the park and we decide to read a book there, or even, like, if your kid is one of those kids that just needs to always be read to, like, even if you're, like, at a restaurant or something and you just, like, it's one of those, but it's definitely not a bedtime book. But it is a beautiful book and I loved it so much. It's about just some little kids connecting through the power of books and going on adventures, but understanding that books can be fun, but they are just one aspect of, life. Like, sometimes you have to take the chance and be like a few of the characters in your books. Take those chances, take those adventures, stuff like that. Now, depending on what kind of books you read as an adult, don't do the stuff that you read in books. Some of y'all be reading a lot of murder mysteries. Don't be doing it. Some of y'all be reading some hardcore type stuff. And it's like, I mean, if you want to do that, like, but, just be mindful, I guess is what I need to say, of the adventures that you're trying to go on. The next one is The Wild Robot. So this one is for the caregivers. This is a middle grade book. I will say that this is just straight up a middle grade book, but this is a book for the parents. Like, this is one for the parents, y'all. Like, a child would read this and enjoy it, but an adult that has some kind of responsibility over a living being that's not a plant gets this book. Like, if you're, because I'm one of those people that's like, I react in real time to books, and it was one of those books that my reaction was the reactions that was given in the books. So that's how you know it's like so true to life. It's actually really amazing, and I highly do suggest it. I read it for book club, one of the book clubs that I'm a part of, and I'm so glad that they chose this one. I hope I don't miss the book club for this book, because I came in on the last literal 5 minutes of the last book club, and so I'm hoping that that don't happen this time, and that I can stay for the full time and discuss this book, because it's amazing. The next one that I have read is Scooby-Doo and the Snow Monster. This is I just love Scooby-Doo. So if there's a Scooby-Doo book out there, I'm gonna read it. If there's a Scooby-Doo movie out there, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm just such a Scooby-Doo fan. I wish I had more like Scooby-Doo like merchandise and stuff around my house. I barely have anything. Like, I have like a Daphne bobblehead. I have a few like books, but I would definitely want like more merch and stuff from Scooby-Doo. But this one was like one of those classic Scooby-Doo. Now this wasn't like, this was not like Scooby-Doo Where Are You classic, but What's Up Scooby-Doo. Like that, it's giving What's Up Scooby-Doo vibes, and I very much enjoyed it. Now, if you are a mystery reader like me, and also a Scooby-Doo fan like me, like, one, you're gonna figure out this plot real fucking fast. Like again, this is a kid's book, but if you are an adult, you will probably figure out this plot hella quick. But that doesn't mean that the journey isn't fun. I will say that I still enjoyed the book, even though I knew from the get-go who the criminal was. But it's like, let's just go for the ride. Next one I read is about Fannie Lou Hamer. We are both Mississippians. Well, she has passed, but just, wanted to. I found this little series in the library, and so I just decided to pick up a bunch of them. There's still some more that I gotta get, but I didn't want to check every single one of them out, because they seem like they are meant for teachers, because they come with like a little DVD, and at the back of it or if you like homeschool, and they have like questions in the back of the book that you could answer. So like, I didn't want to take all of them, just in case like a teacher or somebody that's homeschooling their baby like came across these and they wanted to use them. So I did. That's the reason I picked it up. And it was very insightful about Fannie Lou Hamer, her life, and I'm still learning, and you can't, you don't know everything. Even in this kid's book, there's some stuff that I still learned about her, even though I know a ton about this lady. And that's what I enjoy about kids' books, is like, you still will learn something from a kid's book. It doesn't matter like how much information you know, unless you like are a professor, scholar, like you wrote your thesis on this person, like, just as a layman's person just trying to know history, it's still got some good information in it. But again, if you're like if you got a doctorate in like, African American studies, and then you wind up doing a thesis on Fannie Lou Hamer, this book, the book ain't for you. You know everything. Like, but this is definitely for introducing this person to a young one. And even if you are a older person like me, just still trying to take in knowledge, it's still a good book for that purpose too. But like I said, all these books in the series got like questions and DVDs that come with it, so they're very helpful for teaching purposes. The next one, I'm gonna butcher this name. I know it's Oscar Schindler. Nope, Schindler. 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 I don't I don't know how I'm saying that. But anyway, so okay. This man was just a horrible person. Just in a lot of different ways. Like he was a womanizer, he cheated on his wife constantly, he was possibly an alcoholic. Like it's a kid's book, so they still can't like go into a lot of details, even though they did go into the details of him being a cheating piece of shit. Like they didn't say it like that, but they said like he loves the three W's, like women. Oh fuck, I don't forget what they were, but anyway, I read the damn book. But it was just he was a womanized piece of shit, and he wanted to make money off of World War II. And he was a Nazi. Like he straight up supported the Nazi party and everything. And he decided to start making shells for the war just to profit off of it. And a lot of the people that worked for him were of the Jewish faith. And so eventually he saw the lot and decided to change his ways, even though now he stayed being smoozy with the Nazi party just to like know what's going on, know what the next moves are, so he could start helping the Jewish community. And he eventually decided to move his factory, and he decided to take a bunch of Jewish people with him, some that worked for him, others that they was just like, listen, I just need to get the fuck up out of here. Like, and it's like, I mean, I don't blame them. Like they are going through a horrific ass event. Get me the fuck up out of here. Like, if all it takes is just me working in your factory or, whatever. Now, I will say this is also the time where children also worked in factories. So there were children on that list that, the parents didn't have to sneak those children onto the list or, away from the situation because it was a thing of like, oh, well, this person name on the list, that person name on the list, so that person got to stay, even if that person is a child. And so you really didn't actually have that issue because child labor, child workers was like a common thing back then. So, like I learned, again, learning a lot about different stuff, and the Schindler's List is what they called it. And it was like over 120 plus people that was on the list that he helped get up out of that horrible situation. And so now I will say that he is buried in Israel. Like that's just a fact. And I just didn't really know how to feel about that either because he did help, but it was also like, he was a part of the problem, but he saw the light of day. Like it's one of those. It's one of those situations. The next book is, Harriet Tubman. I know a lot about Harriet Tubman. Like I don't know. I know I was raised on a very sanitized version of Harriet Tubman. And so as I've gotten older, as I've started just doing my own research into people, I have learned that like, the stories that we were told growing up, they weren't necessarily lies, but they weren't necessarily whole truth. And so there's stuff that, reading this, I knew all of it, but it was like, I'm glad that there's a kid's book out there that just has the actual truth in it instead of a sanitized version of her life. So I do appreciate that. Maria Tallchief. Oh, this was so, like I had no idea who this person was. I'm not gonna lie. I like ballet. I like watching ballets. But, and I've actually practiced ballet, but I never went into like the history of it too deep. And I hate that I haven't. Now I have read quite a few books about ballerinas of color, and like it's all so fascinating. Their lives, their backgrounds, their achievements. Maria Tall Chief was Native. She was Osage, and she did that shit. Like she wanted to be a ballerina. She put her mind to it, and she did that shit. It was very eye opening to like the struggles of the Osage people, but also their successes. Because I have read, oh God, I'm gonna fuck up this name, Flowers of the Killer Moon. It's in, yeah, I want to say that's the title. It's got a movie out. And yeah, like I said, I decided to read the book because I like to read the book before I watch the movies. But what's funny is I rarely watch the movies after reading the book. And so just learning about more of the Osage and then community and then, well, I guess nation. Uh, yeah. And then going and reading about, another person that was a part of this community that went on to do a lot of great things, because Killers of the Flowering Moon, I feel like I'm just fucking that title up. But it was a lot of truth, but it was a lot of hard truth about just how, these people did have all this money, and like the government came in and was like, nah. And how these people were just getting absolutely hurt in so many different ways, murdered by people that they were supposed to trust, by people by people they were supposed to love them. Like it's kind of fucking crazy. Now, I say that, and the next fucking book that's under it is The Pilgrim's First Thanksgiving. You can't make this shit up. Um, so I gave this one a 1 star. As you can see, it's very whitewashed and sanitized version of Thanksgiving. I did not enjoy it. It is one that I would not share with my students, with the little ones that are in my life. Like just no, it's not worth it. Eating the alphabet. Now this one is so fun. This one, this is my second time reading this because it's just such a cute little fun book. This is definitely for, I don't know what I do. This is like a bedtime book. I guess so. I guess this is more of a bedtime book because you're like learning your ABCs and stuff like that. And using food. Now I probably, if I had children, I would probably use this when I am getting ready to cook or like ready to go to the store. So I would probably do like a little lesson of this, and then like while we're in the store, we could be like, oh, A is for apple, and stuff like that. Like I feel like that's what I would do. I don't know what I would do, but it's still a really cute book. It's just adorable. You learn about fruit, and well, you learn about fruits and vegetables through the alphabet. And at the back of the book, I really enjoyed this, was like kind of a little bit of a history lesson per fruit and vegetable and root, I guess. It's also because some of them not fruits and vegetables. So yeah, no, it's just a really cute book. And it's definitely if you have a little one in your life. Basketball ballerina. So this is one where it's definitely for its time, but that time has passed. Baseball ballerina is about a little girl whose mom wants her to be a part of ballet and not a part of baseball. And so she basically tells her daughter, like, you're gonna play, you're gonna be in a, you're gonna be a ballerina. You're not gonna do baseball. And so, modern day, there are parents that would do that, like, but it's very frowned upon nowadays to do that. Like, if your child enjoys something, it's kind of more normalized to just let that child enjoy that activity, no matter if it's, you know, there's not a lot of people trying to move away from the gender norms of certain activities. And so it's like, if your kid really likes baseball, let your kid play baseball. She could easily go into like the major leagues of something if you just let her do her thing. Now ballet can make you better at baseball, but she really did not want to do ballet. And that does, if you're an adult, of course, and if you're a kid, then none of this concerns you. None of this shit concerns you. As a child, it's a good book. Let them have it. But as an adult, it's one of those where I wouldn't necessarily, this wouldn't be the first one that I would give to a kid unless they said that they were going through this issue, and give them the book and be like, just read this and see how you feel afterwards. Like, I would say it like that. It's one that's for a very specific situation. If you're an adult and suggesting the book to a kid, but it's not one that I would immediately go to. Scooby-Doo and the Vampire's Revenge. Again, another like just classic what's new Scooby-Doo type vibes. And again, it's one of those where you know who it is. You don't even hide it, don't even front it, you know who it is. But the adventure getting there is fun. And it's vampires. So like, what you gonna do? Winnie the Pooh's Thanksgiving was funny to me because if you have ever read the series, if you know anything about Winnie the Pooh, for the most part, you know that this takes place in Britain. Now, I am not sure that overseas they have a version of Thanksgiving, not necessarily the Thanksgiving that we know here in America, at least the whitewashed version that most of us have been taught. But they made it seem like it's a day of just genuinely giving thanks to like your family, friends, and all your accomplishments and shit like that. And so, but it's just funny because it's like, I don't know if they have shit like that over in Britain where it's just literally a day of like giving thanks to your communities and shit like that. Or or this is just an American thing where these motherfuckers forgot that this is supposed to take place in Britain, and they was like, we gotta have Pooh do every holiday, every major holiday. And it's like, Thanksgiving should not be considered a major holiday. That's just a me thing. That's a day where a lot went wrong for a very specific population of people. And yeah, so hey, what can you do? But I mean, it's for a kid, it's fine. Just for me, it's like, it's just funny, but also I'm an adult, so I have more of a thinking process on this. The Organic Garden is actually a kid's book. It's really nice just to help if you want to have that conversation with your kid about gardening. And if you want to go more of the, organic gardening route, it's a real smooth conversation starter about like not adding pesticides and shit like that to your garden. And yeah, like it's pretty good. I mean, if you are also getting into organic gardening, if you're like me, where once you start something, you like to start from the bottom and go your way up, this is definitely helpful for, those that are looking to get into, organic gardening as an adult, and it like can guide you, and then you can just, go up to different literature that is a little bit more complex about the topic. She loves to cook and she loves to eat. OMG, I love this series down. Love the series down. It's a slow burn romance, woman love woman series, and I can't get enough. I actually have the final book with me. I I'm nervous on finishing it, but I want to finish it, so I'm probably gonna finish it once I get done with this video. That's number four. Number three of She Loves to Cook, She Loves to Eat. The next one is Matthew Henson and Robert Perry. So I actually read Matthew Henson's autobiography. It was very eye-opening, and I had never heard of him before this. I was scrolling on the Gettysburg Project, and I saw the title of it, and I was just like, huh. And so, I clicked on it, downloaded it, and then I wind up finding the audio version of the book on YouTube. And so I read along with it while listening to it on YouTube. And this man, he's an adventurer, like point blank period. Like, he loved adventure, and you weren't finna keep him away from seeking that thrill. Like, and then Robert Perry, I actually didn't know anything about Robert Perry. I only knew enough through the eyes of of Mr. Henson. I don't know. Both these people are dead. I don't know how to actually do this. But yeah, like, so it did give me a little bit more insight into Mr. Perry. But I do want to actually learn more about him just separately. And I don't know if there is any information out there that they had like I guess a scribe would be, but I'm pretty sure there's another word that must exist for if you're going on like adventures and someone writes about the adventures themselves, separate from the people. I mean, well, they usually are part of the team, but anyway, like somebody that documented their adventures together. I wish that existed. I hope it exists, but I don't know if it exists, and I really do want it to exist though. The next one is Dream Big, Little One. This is a bedtime story. This is like the definition of a bedtime story. Uh, like, it's so cute. It's the kids' version of another book that's by the same author. And so with this one, you just, it's just like the person's name, a picture, and kind of what they do, what they did, a little bit about like who they were. While the other book is a middle grade book, and it goes into a little bit more detail about their lives and who they were as people. There is one that's all Black women, and then there's one that's all Black men. I have actually picked up both of those, and I'm very excited. Okay, so Caesar Chavez. I'm probably butchering that, and I'm so sorry. This one, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who the hell this person was, and I hate that I didn't know who this person was until now as an adult. This man did great things to help the immigrant community, the farming community. Like, the reason we even have certain laws and like regulations and shit, unions, is because of this man. And if he was alive today to see what is currently going on, I couldn't even tell you. But this man definitely like an inspiration to fight for the working class. Like, I don't know, I gotta learn a little bit more about his life and everything, but he seemed like just a person that really wanted to protect people, and I can get behind that. The next one on the list is Nat Geo, the most popular Instagram photos. This one it is what it sounds like it is. It's just a when you used to get Nat Geo magazine where it had like all the beautiful pictures and all the cute pictures, and there would be like long little blurs about how the picture was taken, what led them to take that picture, like the moment in time that it happened and stuff like that, or even like what the picture represents. um that is not with this. At least not with every single picture. So it just gives basically the caption. It just seems like it was the caption from what the original Instagram post was under it, and then just it's split up in categories of like hashtags, which I think is funny. Like that's how the chapters work. It's like so, but it's just Nat Geo pictures with less text. There is text in there still, especially when it comes to a lot of older pictures. They give context and stuff like that too. But I'm not gonna lie, I do miss the long passages, even though I didn't really read a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read a lot of them, but it's just the simple fact that they said stuff. They said more than just a caption. There was like detailed background and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but I miss the old mags. I miss the old magazines, and I actually got a few of them. Um, if you do not know, they discontinued the Nat Geo magazines. Like at least the physical ones. You can get like the digital, ones, but it's like the physical ones are, it's kind of nostalgic. The Body in the Attic is another one that I read. This book is so these two cousins are house flippers together, and they've been doing this for a minute, and they decided to take over a family friend's home after he passed. And they decided to go into an attic, find a body, and family secrets are spilled. Drama ensues. It's crazy. She loves to cook. She loves to eat. I love it. Last night's reading, illustrated encounters with extraordinary authors. So I really enjoyed this. This is for me, it was very inspirational, very uplifting as a reader and as a writer and, as a poet. Like it really spoke to me. I love this book down. I borrowed this one from the library, and it's one that I actually would love to like have in my home. I would have this as like a coffee table book. Like it's not necessarily meant to be a coffee table book, but I would have it as a coffee table book. Now, crazy me would do the crazy thing. So I would probably buy 3 of these books, and 2 of them I would break the spine, take out carefully take out the pages, and I would just use them to frame my office or in like my studio space. And like I would literally use them to like the pages to decorate, because 1, they're beautiful, but 2, the quotes and stuff are so inspirational and amazing. And the reason I would do 2, but the reason I wanted 3, because I want the front and the back of each page to be displayed. Like that's genuinely how much I really enjoyed this book. I would use it as art around my home. 5-minute Scooby-Doo 5-minute mystery stories. These were fun. It's multiple stories in one book. They say they're 5-minute reads, but I have dyslexia, so like, what is 5 minutes? Anyway, I enjoyed just every single one of these stories. They are more of um what's new Scooby-Doo than the original or even Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Now, if they bring in the books of Be Cool Scooby-Doo and they bring in that funny, that those subtle touches of referencing in the past and shit like that, I y'all would, whoever made it would have all of my money. Like they would have, I would buy every single one. Like if they made, but I feel like if they did do a Be Cool Scooby-Doo, it would either be in one or two formats. It would be in comic book format, or it would be in like a thick book, but it would be a YA book. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like one of those would be so perfect for Be Cool Scooby-Doo. I think I would lean more toward seeing it in comic book form just because the art style fits more comic book to me than animation, but that's just a personal. If they did a Be Cool Scooby-Doo comic book series and they kept like the same writers and artists on, y'all had my motherfucking money. Sorry. Just listen. Next one, 81 famous poems. Oh my goodness. I love poetry. I genuinely do love poetry. And just to hear these beautiful, amazing repetitives, because some of them, you hear almost everywhere, but you never get enough of them. Poems that are by different artists. I will say that it's very much lacking diversity. But I to balance that out, I actually have a book of poems that's by different people of color. Like I literally got them at the same time. Like I got this one because I was like, this probably gonna be white as hell, and then then I got the other one. So like I decided to balance it out in my world. So she loves to cook, she loves to eat. That's where we got introduced. It was amazing. I love it. Monster Madness. So I will say that there's a Be Cool Scooby-Doo episode that goes kind of like this. Now I also figured out because I read all of Sherlock Holmes, that these episodes are usually always based off the Hound of the Baskervilles. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're fucking right. Like, oh my God, you're fucking right. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So what's fun now is that I can't wait till I need to get more digital. I mean, I need to get more physical media, but I can't wait to have the complete set of Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Well, just the complete set of every Scooby-Doo. The movies, the Lego movies, like the series. Like I want all of them. I want all of them hoes. Huge want. And so I actually want to re-listen to Sherlock Holmes, like every single one of them, because I love them deeply. I actually have every single Sherlock Holmes. Hold on. I just thought about that. I actually own every single Sherlock Holmes. Where did I put it? So it's in one of two places.